Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Last time, we completed the 2.0 storyline, which was basically the main story that got us all the way to level 50. And now we get to do the level 50 endgame stuff as we work up to the first expansion, Heavensward. Now, I have a long list of things to do. There's a really long list of things to do, and I have it all planned out, set aside. I know exactly what I want to do all the way up to Heavensward. And the first thing I'm going to do is get out of this scholar outfit. That's right, it's time for me to pick up a new job. Over here in Ul'dah, we're going to be taking the red. That's right, the soul of the Red Mage is going to be mine.
Oh, are you an adventurer? Please, you have to rescue my sister. Some horrible people tried to kidnap us just outside the city gates. I managed to break free when a traveler stopped to help, but my sister never caught up to me.
I will save her. Where are your parents? Where are your parents, lady?
I don't know. Mama and Papa left early to deal with some merchants, and the brass blades don't seem to care what happens outside the city walls. That traveler, he was some sort of mage, I think, but it was 1 against 5. Surely he couldn't stand against so many. What can I do? Won't you please help me?
Oh yeah, you might notice the quest jingle was slightly different. That's because this is technically a quest for Stormblood, and that's the Stormblood jingle. All right, we need to find the well-dressed lass at Spineless Basin, which happens to be pretty much right outside this gate. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I really wanted to show off at least one of the Heavensward classes through this Let's Play, but the problem is, unfortunately, the only way to access all of the Heavensward classes is to be in the Heavensward main city, Ishgard. And all of the Heavensward classes start at level 30. Which means I would have to complete all of the 2.0 endgame stuff, start Heavensward, get into Ishgard, pick up a level 30 class, and then just go fuck off forever for, 20 levels worth of stuff. Like, it's such a time kill right there. It would put such a huge crimp in the schedule. I just couldn't justify it. Thankfully, however, Square learned their lesson, and for Stormblood and Shadowbringers, they decided to put all of their starting job quests in the original 3 cities. So as soon as you meet the level requirement, which for Red Mage and Samurai, the 2 classes I'm going to be picking up today, are level 50. So I can run with these guys through Endgame and Heavensward, and then once I hit level 60, I can pick up the 2 Shadowbringer classes and show those off as well.
Don't touch me! Oh, you're not one of them?
Also, these new classes get to have some fun and show off here. Ooh, that's a lot of black mages you're fighting there, good sir. You don't look all that worried. Oh, and down go 2. Woohoo! Oh, I gotta be honest, Red Mage to me is one of the most enjoyable classes. It is such a fun class. He made that look easy. And the best part is the Red Mage fights with style. And who might you be? You came to lend your aid? My apologies. Had I but known, I would have spared you a villain or 2. After all, you seem to share my distaste for those who would prey upon defenseless children. Aye, birds of a feather we are. I am Zerun Tia, a pilgrim of sorts. Might I know your name, friend? Dekumon? Now why does that strike such a familiar chord?
Excuse me, I just wanted to thank you for saving me. Both of you.
My pleasure, child. You are unharmed, yes? Good. Let us escort this brave lass to her sister then. Lead the way.
Now these opening quests are pretty quick and easy, so I'm thinking after I pick up each of these 2 new jobs, I'm gonna run them through one of the new dungeons. give you guys a chance to kind of see him in action before we move on to the 2.1 storyline and start knocking that out. Because there's also so many dungeons, I'm gonna do my best to just kind of sprinkle them throughout the main, whenever we're doing the main story stuff, just to kind of help break it up a little bit.
You found her, adventurer. Thank you. We are very grateful for your kindness. I was so scared. What did those terrible people want with us? You didn't worry about them anymore, sister. The man in red defeated them all. You saw how he fought, with spells and steel. He's one of those heroes Papa told us about. A crimson duelist, aren't you?
Ah, I did not expect to hear that name this far south into Eorzea.
Then you are a crimson duelist. I knew it.
If your papa is telling his daughters tales of red mages, then he must be from Alamigo, yes? Well, that would explain his choice of bedtime stories. Now, shall we see you lassies home?
We'll be all right from here. Thank you again.
Oh, the kids are so sweet in this. Bye, bye.
And away they skip, safe and happy. Now, Dekumon, was it not? I believe we've earned ourselves a celebratory drink. You need not feel compelled, my friend. Should the mood strike you, however, you'll find me staying over at Blackbrush Station. I find the ale served at the Coffer and Coffin most agreeable.
Blackbrush, huh? That would be, yeah, I figured it was right by one of the Aetherytes. Ah, there you are. Yeah. It's kind of a dive bar, man.
Ah, you came. As it so happens, the mother of those girls tracked me down and insisted I accept a reward. Once I mentioned you might be stopping by, she left a token of gratitude for you as well. It seems we've assisted an affluent merchant family. A revelation which might explain the attempted kidnapping, hefty ransom and all that. I'm told the girls will immediately assign a capable bodyguard, however, so we can drink in peace knowing they are well protected. Oh, I've remembered whence I know your name. I've learned of you first from a young lass named Alice, whom I met upon the road. She expressed an admiration for your growing exploits, even as she persuaded me to teach her the basics of red magery.
That's right. Though this won't come into play now, at the beginning of Stormblood, Alice actually will be trading in her summoner's tome for a red mage's outfit. Or not outfit, but her weapon at the very least.
She proved a quick study in the arcane arts of things, but fencing was something of a challenge. By the end of our lessons, however, she had learned to combine spellcraft with swordplay, when to cast from afar, and when to lunge forward with a well-timed thrust. And what of you, my friend? Have you any interest in the art? I suspect you would make an exceptional red mage.
Sounds good.
I am deadly serious. A man who would rush to aid of a stranger's child without fear of hesitation is a man I would trust with the power of red magic. But even beyond that, I sense in you a kindred spirit. It helps that we're both Mikos. Be warned, however, that my style of teaching is a practical one. I will expect you to join me on my journey and assist me in aiding others. Accept those terms, and I will bestow upon you the accoutrements of a red mage. Are you familiar with soul crystals? This particular stone is attuned to past wielders of red magics, and will fill your mind with a firm foundation of technique. You need only reach forth your hand.
Oh, one more talk, and we're good to go.
Are you prepared to walk the path of a red mage? One word, and the soul crystal is yours.
Will you become a red mage? Hell yeah!
You will not regret this decision, my friend. Gods above! For a moment, I thought you were meant to refuse me. A host of red mages committed their memories to this gem, and now it is yours. Take it in good health. Absorb the knowledge it contains, then we will discuss the finer points of red magic. But first, I should give you that reward. A little bit of gold, I see.
And there's the Stormblood end quest jingle. Red Mage unlocked. Combos, yeah, this is the first class actually that has combo attacks, which, you know, it's perfectly fine. All right, I assume in order to talk to him, I need to be level 50. I need to actually be the Red Mage. So, all we do, Put that on. Put on my recommended. I'll be right back. Like I said, I'll be right back. Had to run back to town and put on my gear, but I'm not looking half bad for a budding new Red Mage. Now, I obviously don't have his gear. His gear is a little bit cooler looking, unfortunately, so a little bit of time. Also, I need to actually back out of here really quick and set my hotbar because I just realized new class, hotbar is all effed up. Be right back. All right, I finally got my gauges the way I want them. Finally, God, it takes forever to set up a new gauge. So, Red Mage has two things I want to talk about really quick. First off is going to be the balance gauge, and since it's got the little help thing here, it's pretty handy. Most of my spells will give me either a resource called either black mana or white mana, and your goal as a Red Mage is to keep them in relative balance and get them both above 80. Once I do that, I can blow them on a big melee combo for a nice big chunk of damage. Definitely a lot of fun, really useful, really cool. It's the main bread and butter is build mana at range, jump in, burn mana on melee combo. The other thing I want to talk about is Red Mage's signature trait, and this thing is why Red Mages are so damn scary. Dual cast. Every time I hard cast a spell, and hard cast basically means I run through it with the cast bar, my next spell has no cast time, which, as you can imagine, opens up a huge amount of mobility for me. It's also handy because two of my spells, if I can get to them, two of my spells, Ver Arrow and Ver Thunder, as you can see, look at this, it's a 5-second cast time, basically. These are the things you're meant to burn dual cast on as much as possible. Of course, I'll also eventually have Ver Raise. Yes, I have a combat raise, and of course I can use dual cast on this. I have a Ver Cure, which is nice. I actually have a not too terrible cure. A couple of other utility spells. A cool one here is the Red Mage is a very proc-based class. Basically means when I do something, I have a chance of getting a bonus something to do. And in this case, it's casting Ver Fire and Ver Stone. These ones are basically improved versions of my standard Jolt spell. But I'm sure you'll see all these in action once this guy actually gives us our little Red Mage tutorial, the Crimson Duelist.
I see from the glint to your eye that the Soul Crystal has surrendered its secrets. Welcome to the ranks of the Red Mages. The art we practice is born of noble origin. Its balanced and controlled energies were once used to stem the tide of destruction and reclaim a future for the dispossessed. I speak of the age some 1500 years past, when the clash of two sorcerous civilizations brought about the Sixth Umbral Calamity. Ere the great floods rose, people fled from their homes and into the mountains of Girabania. Even mages of Mach and Omnipor were to be found amongst the refugees. These wizardly practitioners became targets of retribution for the part they played in upsetting their natural balance, and soon did they shed their robes of black and vestments of white. If people were to survive and rebuild following the disaster, however, they would need the power of the arcane. Thus were the principles of black and white magery reinvented, and upon their combined foundation an entirely new discipline was built. Gray magic. What, gray magic? No, I thought it was called red magic. Yes, well, it's really poorly named. It really should have been called gray magic if we're going to combine black and white. But I've prattled on about the history of it for long enough. Far better that you experience red magic firsthand. There remains the mystery of who sent kidnappers after the poor girls, and I have a feeling attempts to unearth the culprit will provide the battle practice you require. Before we plunge into the fray, however, there are questions I would ask. Come with me to Eastern Thanalan, to the Church of Ancient Adama Ladama. Eastern Thanalan. Isn't this where I found Marquis? It is where I found Marquis. Dang, Maggie, you got some speed in the old tank there today. Alright, there's our quest guy. Dekumon, there you are. I would introduce you to Father Ilud, but I believe the two of you are already acquainted.
Zurun has told me of a tale of the various spellcasters in an attempt to kidnap two young girls. And you wish to ask if this thaumaturgical cabal is known to me, yes? There are several such cults which come to mind, but I must have more detail. You say each member, excuse me, there's a rather large chocobo ass right in the middle of my screen. Oh my god, I can't literally do anything about this. Sorry guys, but This is probably about as good as it's going to get until somebody moves their fat chocobo ass out of my camera. There are several such cults which come to mind, but I must have more detail. You say each member shared some rather unusual traits?
Aye, not one word spoken over the entire exchange. Oh, thank God, that damn chocobo's gone. Not one shift in expression when I urged them to yield. Each of them also appeared branded with some manner of tattoo, a sigil pulsing with arcane energy.
Ah, an evil practice. Such cursed sigils are known to destroy the will of the bearer, resulting in a biddable puppet which acts in much the manner you have described. There is no salvation for such wretched creatures.
Then we must seek the fiends who pull their strings. Pray, learn what you can of this cabal and its purpose, Father. Dekumon, we have another task to attend to. Might I suggest some light stretching before you step outside? You'll soon understand why. I'm going to put you through your paces.
You have learned all Red Mage actions and traits to level 50. May want to go look them up now. Yep, that's your warning that you're about to get put to the test. Yep, it's even a duty calls. Just kind of what I expected. Most of the new jobs, the ones that give you higher levels at least, will put a duty calls right at the beginning to give you a chance to just kind of stretch her out and play around with the class. Some ominous music there.
Did you notice we were being followed, Dekumon? The very cabal we are investigating seems to have taken an interest in us. I sense an ambush in the offing. Do they seek to silence us, perhaps? Well, let them try. This will be the perfect opportunity for you to test your newly acquired skills. But first, a brief lesson. A Red Mage's spells belong to two distinct schools, rooted as they are in the ancient disciplines of black and white magic. Intertwined, they form the solid core of Red Magic, and through the balanced casting of both disciplines, can a Red Mage build this foundation higher and higher. When your strength has reached its peak, that is when you lunge forward and unleash the energies thrumming within your blade. And then you leap away, returning to the first step. It is a dance, my friend. I see some practice dummies have come out. Come out, wherever you are. We have no intention of running or hiding from you. Oh, beasties. I wear a sword, as you can see, but I am not partial to violence. Is there no chance we might attempt a parley in lieu of bloodletting?
Guess not.
Ah, c'est la vie. How unsettling. Well, Dekumon, it seems you will have your battle. Remember what I have taught you. Which was absolutely nothing at all. I just expected you to look it all up. Also, look how much cooler my weapon is than yours.
Alright, defeat the ambushers. So, start with these bloody curs. So the standard thing you want to do is always jolt into Ver Arrow or Ver Thunder. And you always want to alternate as much as possible. Oh, that one's already dead. So you see the first one gave me a proc and I just wasted a dual cast right there. That was stupid of me. Jeez, I'm barely getting a chance. You guys are too weak. Barely getting a chance to do anything here. Uh-oh, back it up. I'm not getting any procs here. Oh, and I'm pushing my white magic way too high. I am not doing what I should be doing, which is alternating. So you see how my little gem there is turned white. That means I'm not going to be building as much black magic as I should be. Come on, give me the right target. Thank you. Oh, we've got a lot of people here. I think some time for some AoE spells is in order. That's right, I don't have just single target spells, dude. I have AoE spells too. Oh, scatter is really the long cast for AoE, huh? All right, we are close. And by close, I mean it's time for some melee combat. A 2 and a 3, and he's dead. Wow, I barely had a chance to do anything in that run. Too easy.
These puppets must have a leader lurking nearby. Let us take the battle to our ambushes, shall we? But before we can resume the hunt, let us be sure of your technique. As a Red Mage, you are capable of casting 2 spells in rapid succession, using what is known as the dual cast effect. Intone a short spell, and you will find that a lengthy incantation can now be cast in an instant. Take advantage of this technique to bombard your foes with arcane destruction.
Yeah, I figured it out already, man. Don't worry about it. Oh, the music just changed.
Remember, balance black and white to take full advantage of dual cast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this guy's a thing here. So I'm gonna use acceleration here, which will force the next spell I cast to throw a proc out. Oh, and I overcharged on one side, which is my fault. It's been a while since I played this class, I apologize. Also, I'm looking at this now, I realize my black and whites need to be swapped. They're on the wrong side. That's my instinct. Unfortunately, I put all the spells on the wrong side of where they should be, so I'm kind of bass backwards here. Just kind of messing me up here. But don't worry, I'll figure it out. Oh, I got out of sequence there. It's the problem when things die in the middle of my sequence. It messes me up. God dang, I was way out of balance. I was way out of balance. Oh. I hate it when things die in the middle of my back and forth.
Another orb. Ah, the fallen send aether to the allies.
All right, now we're going in. A 1, a 2, and a 3, and a backstep for good measure. I knew you were still alive, you pain in the ass. Oh, so we follow the orb from one jackass to the next.
Follow the sphere. It will lead us to the source of this ambush.
I was so busy explaining the Red Mage mechanics, I didn't. Oh, that's a thing. That's a thing.
Aether of the Fallen, gathered for some dark reason.
Can I target this? No, I cannot. And he's calling something big too. He's calling something. Oh, he's dead. Oh, that's big. That is very big.
He sacrificed himself to the demon dog.
Well, hold on, my mana bar is almost fully charged. Ow. All right, going in. Nope. Ain't sticking around for that, boy.
Keep your distance from the ether it sprays.
Huh. Uh-oh. Ow! Uh-oh. I've been minted. I'm mini-me. Get me out of here, man. I don't have Vercure yet. Oh, god dang. That's a problem. I really could use Vercure right now. This guy hits really hard. But he's also toast. Goodbye. Duty complete. There we go. That enemy we saw actually is a mini version of a boss we'll be running into sometime this sequence. It's actually a boss from one of the Crystal Tower runs.
Well done, Dekumon. You have exceeded my expectations. Which is a fortunate thing, for I did not anticipate the arrival of that fearsome hound. These mages were willing to forfeit their own lives to ensure that we lost ours. Do you see? The brand on her left cheek. This is the cursed sigil which stole her will and left her vulnerable to the most heinous of commands. Our ambushers were young men and women, every one, all transformed into mindless pawns by some hidden master. And this master has shown no compunction against sacrificing pieces that outlived their usefulness. No, this cannot stand. Heed me, Dekumon. You have begun your education in red magic, but there is much more I would teach you. Come, let us return to the Lich Yard. Know you the history of these graves? The church's Lich Yard is the final resting place for many victims of the Seventh Umbral Calamity. Red magic was conceived to stem such tides of destruction, in an age when the abuse of sorcery flooded the world with death. Its distinction from earlier disciplines is key. Whilst practitioners of black and white magic draw upon ambient ether, a red mage weaves his spells using only the reserves of mana with which he was born. In the era in which red magic was created, to do otherwise was forbidden. to manifest more powerful effects, the first Red Mages adopted a method by which precise sword techniques would harness and amplify the energy of their spoken incantations, the mage's own physical form serving as an arcane accelerator, an ingenious way of preserving their self-imposed limitations. Understand that the blade we wield is not simply a weapon, it is the focus of all our efforts to lessen strife and suffering. Which makes it perfect for a warrior of light, I suppose. Every generation of Red Mage is part of an unending battle. We are soldiers who fight for those enduring violence and subjugation, the bulwark against the unkind vagaries of fate. 20 years ago, I joined the revolutionaries in Alamigo and learned red magic alongside like-minded companions. We formed the Crimson Duelists, and together we rose up against the tyranny of the Mad King Theodoric. We were crushed. Of all the duelists, only I survived to watch our homeland languish under the rule of imperial invaders. Even after leaving Alamigo, I never ceased fighting for its liberation. And when I learned of the calamity, of the threat to all the lands of Eorzea, I allied myself with the valiant scholars of Sharlan. In the end, I was unable to protect my homeland or halt the approach of fiery disaster. But never once in all these years have I betrayed the oath the duelists swore to champion the weak with heart and steel. Such is the nature of the magic you will learn from this idealistic fool. If you would master this art, however, then my road shall become your road for the duration of your studies. I will remain here in the church for the time being, and be a pest to the good Father Iliad until we uncover the origins of this cult. Your only chore shall be to reflect upon the lessons of this day and prepare for our next encounter.
With that, the Crimson Duelist is complete. Alright, your quest marker gonna roll over? Yeah, I thought so. So I need to be 52 for the next one, not surprised. So once we were past 50, job quests tend to pop every 2 to 3 levels, as opposed to every 5 levels when we were before 50. So we won't see this guy again for a little while. But now that we have the Red Mage outfit, I think it's time to go stretch our legs in a dungeon.